Thick hair is every woman's dream, right? But what if you had it and ruined it? Or what if you're trying to get it but you're not really sure how to? Well, if you're interested in finding out how to restore your thin hair to thick or even how to grow your hair thicker, then please keep on watching. My first advice to you sis is to start using more natural ingredients. It's easy to walk into a store and pick up a product off the shelf, but if that product is just a bottle of chemicals, then you best believe it's not going to be doing any good for your hair. Using products like these is like eating KFC every day and expecting to be healthy. Whenever you're spending your money on products, pay close attention to the ingredients. Ensure the ingredients are mostly natural. Believe me when I say this, the more natural, the better. Natural ingredients are gentler on your hair and provide significantly more benefits to it. God created herbs, God created the natural things in nature for your healing, for your benefit. As long as these ingredients are organic and properly used, as in you portion them right, you're not overusing but you're doing everything in moderation, they have the potential to give you any of the 4R benefits: restore, revive, renew, rejuvenate. My second advice is to use it carefully and in moderation. There's nothing I've seen that can thin a person's hair out as fast as the excessive use of it. And I'm not just saying this. I've seen it happen. I had a classmate in high school with thick dark hair. That girl's hair would have been what I would want my hair to be if I had natural hair in high school. But every time she came with her fresh mini twist, because that's how she used to do her hair back then, the twist would look thinner and thinner, and you could see her ends gradually becoming wispy. Turns out the hairdresser she went to every 2 to 3 weeks didn't want to twist her hair without blowing it out first. So yeah, the constant heat did that to her hair. Man, I was sad because her hair was just so admirable. I make my own natural products and sell to women, and every time I get a client with thin hair that's trying to get it thicker, 99% of the time they use it regularly, like 1 to 2 times every month. Some of them complain that they can't stop using the heat because they don't know how to manage their hair when it's shrunken. If you're listening and this is you, I'll tell you this. There are other ways to stretch your hair. Most of my customers used to wash their hair loose, and that's why it shrinks so much and becomes hard to detangle and style. That loose washing of hair thing is not for everyone. I know a lot of naturals on YouTube do it, but you'll never catch me doing that unless I'm trying to go bald. Washing your hair in twists is always a better solution, especially if your hair is 4B, 4C, or even both, because washing in twists will keep your hair stretched. Yep, my manageable styling hack on wash day is to take down my twist and just redo them, and I'm done. It's pretty easy because my hair is already stretched, so I don't need to go to war and give myself unnecessary headache on wash days. My third advice is regular protein treatments. The same way protein is good for the body, it strengthens it and helps with muscle growth, is the same way it's good for your hair. It also strengthens the hair and enhances its appearance, gives it more elasticity, repair damage, and balances out your hair. When I talk about protein, I know what I'm saying because I have full-on experience with the benefits of protein treatment. I've suffered hair loss, I've suffered hair thinning, and you can learn all about my experience with these things in this video. Some people use eggs, some people use rice as protein treatments. I'm not so much familiar with eggs, but I know about rice and I know rice water. does not do well for my hair. I think it might just be a little bit too powerful for my hair, so I don't really venture with using rice water. It almost broke my hair off and left me bald. If you want to see the protein treatment I currently use, you can check this video out. Because of my bad experience with rice, I prefer to use the store-bought ones, but maybe I'll try eggs in the future. I don't know. Number 4 is regular dusting. Dusting is not really the same as trimming because you're taking off just a little bit of your hair, focusing only on what needs to go, like single strand knots and any stringy looking ends. Dusting helps maintain the thickness of your hair because it keeps your hair ends looking and being healthy. Also, when you dust regularly, you won't need to take off too much of your hair when it's time to do a trim. I'm not a fan of scissor happy people who trim because they are told to and not because their hair actually needs it. I believe you should trim because your hair needs it. Skinny damaged ends are not worth holding on to because they only make your hair look thin and damaged. This is why after a good well needed trim, your hair looks and feels fuller. So regular dusting and a trim here and there are good ways to keep your hair growing, looking thick and healthy. My 5th advice is to stick to what you know is already working for you. I understand we get bored sometime and it's very tempting to want to try out a new product that everybody's raving about. The problem isn't always trying out the new product, but it's how we do it. If you're using something for the first time in your life, you have no prior knowledge about this. You don't know if you're allergic, you don't know how you'll react. I say to be on the safe side, take it step by step. So for your first use, just use it on a small section of your hair. For the second time, use it on another section of the hair and see how you're reacting. And then you can slowly increase how much of it and how much of your hair you use it on. In reality, we are impatient beings that's often too excited to think about these things when buy a new product, and sometimes it's because we trust the brand or the person that recommended it so much. But this should really be how we treat every new product we're about to use. Step by step. Use a little on a small section in your head. There's so much horror stories out there about people who've used the product and it ruined their hair, the hair that they've been working to grow and to maintain for years. This week I stumbled on Dinma's story about how this one product ruined her hair, and I feel for her because her hair was so thick and healthy. But I honestly can relate. I know I have never really confessed where the idea of sleeping in conditioners came from, but it was actually from someone I trusted on YouTube. The practice was working well for her, so I adopted it in my routine and ruined my hair. I don't blame her though, I take full responsibility because I overdid it. She was doing this like once in a while. I did it every 2 weeks. So it's not her fault, it's my fault. So my advice to grow and maintain the thickness of your hair is to continue doing what you know is working for you. And if you're about to try anything new, do it step by step. Please also remember too that as a YouTuber, I'm here to guide you into finding what works, not to take it away from you. So don't feel like you need to do it because I'm doing it. If you're still trying to find what works for you, then that's different. But if you already got it going, stick with it, sis. Lastly is something you'll forever be hearing on this channel because it's something that works 100%. Not only for me, but for every single YouTuber you see with long, thick hair. And I'm sure it will work for you too if you're not already doing it. It's to leave your hair alone. Let it rest, let it be. You don't need to be touching it all the time. You don't need to be over manipulating it. Our hair thrives on being left alone. It's like a plant. You just need to do the necessary and leave the rest. Nature will do the rest. In our case, our bodies will do the rest. Plants were designed by God to grow, and our hair is designed by God to grow also. So we don't need to overdo anything, just the necessary, that's all. Moisturize it, style it, and leave it alone. It will grow, it will thicken up, and you'll see that less is more when caring for your natural hair.